Hey everyone, it's the second round of the 2024 NHL playoffs, so that means it's time for my second chance NHL bracket. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you hit that subscribe button, give the hockey channel a chance, hit that like, notification bell, leave your comments or your predictions down below. Second round, so second chance. I'm going to start from the second round matchups all the way to a cup final. Let's see if I stay with who I picked before the playoffs. Maybe I go with an earlier prediction. Let's see what I do here. So comment your predictions down below. We'll start with the Rangers Hurricanes. They got off to a quick start in this series. And yeah, I mean, I picked the Rangers in my initial bracket in this matchup. So just to give you guys the update, I went 6 for 8 in the first round. So I did go Toronto and Tampa as an upset. I'll just own that. I picked Toronto in 7. Thought they were going to exercise the demons. Of course, they didn't. And I picked Tampa as an upset in 7. Always got to go with a couple upsets. That one, I thought Florida had the clear edge, but Tampa has had their number in past playoff series. And I thought the Stamkos pennant UFA status would give them some more urgency. Obviously, they didn't get it done. So, but I went 6 for 8. I had predicted Dallas. I predicted Colorado. I picked Vancouver. I picked Edmonton. I picked Rangers. I picked Hurricanes. So I went 6 for 8 in the first round. Not bad. We'll take that percentage. And I do think that while Boston beat the Leafs, they got that clear advantage. I think the sense that we got is that Florida looked as dominant as they did in the first round, and they get the goaltending from Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky showed in that first round that he could match up against maybe a Jeremy Swayman. I mean, Swayman had an unbelievable first round. I do think the Bruins, with Swayman, how he was playing, if he plays like that against Florida, they definitely have a good shot to get revenge and move to the conference final. I am going to pick Florida, though. I just think based on how dominant they were, they definitely have the deeper forward group by far. But again, if Boston gets that Swayman-type goaltending that he put up in that first round, I think I could see Boston maybe squeezing out like a Game 6 or Game 7, and then we'll see. But I'm going to pick Florida Rangers conference final. Other side, Dallas, Colorado, Vancouver, Edmonton. I'll start with the Vancouver-Edmonton series. Guys, I'm going to say this. So before the season, I was very high on Edmonton doing something, and they obviously showed disappointment in that first half, but then they got hot at the right time. And it's all about sometimes the teams that get hot at the right time. Stuart Skinner, he's rocking a 9-10 save percentage. I thought that matchup against the Kings was underwhelming, but the Oilers showed well, of course, and cleaned it up in 5. This is no shot against Vancouver. I think they can match up well against Edmonton in a lot of categories. They probably even have the better defense group, but goaltending. Demko was playing really well and then injured. It really comes down to goaltending in this one for me. If Stuart Skinner can continue what he was doing and then you don't get a consistent goalie from Vancouver, we'll see what Demko's health status is. I think if Demko comes back, he plays like he was playing before he got injured, then you're talking about a Game 7 here. And I think it could go either way. But I'm going to go Edmonton, Colorado, Dallas. After watching Ottinger there, making some big saves in Game 7, it almost wants me to go Dallas. But I am going to go with Colorado. I'm going to stick with what my Western Conference pick was going into the playoffs, my initial bracket challenge. I just think, here's the thing. Georgiev, not good numbers. I think this could really come down to goaltending. I think if Ottinger's as good as he was in that Game 7 there against Vegas, I think Dallas will win this series. But I think Colorado just looks so good in that first round. My problem here is it depends on the hockey style it's played too. I do think Dallas could get their number, and we could see a Dallas-Edmonton conference final. I think that's very likely, but I'm going to go with Nate McKinnon-McDavid rematch. And actually, guys, I'm going to make my first change for my initial bracket. I'm going to go Edmonton goes to the Stanley Cup final. Why I'm saying that is because at this point right now, when we talk about goaltending, we talk about matchup game, say I'm wrong about Colorado. And this is kind of an insurance pick here. Say I'm wrong about Colorado. Ottinger stands on his head. Georgiev is a mess. Dallas beats Colorado. I could still see Edmonton potentially beating Dallas. And that's why I'm going Edmonton to the Cup final because of 2 reasons. 1, they've got 2 of the best players in the world. And 2, again, Stuart Skinner. If he plays like he's been playing, starting the playoffs, 9-10 save percentage. And on top of that, Stuart Skinner really got a wake-up call against Colorado. Colorado got stomped on by Winnipeg in the season, and Nathan McKinnon in his post-series interview, he said that after they got stomped by Winnipeg, that was a huge wake-up call to really play with urgency against those guys. Edmonton got stomped against Colorado. I think they're going to really, especially considering things didn't go well for them last time they played Colorado in the playoffs, I think there's going to be even more urgency to win that series, whether they play Colorado or Dallas, but specifically Colorado if it's them. Edmonton to the Cup final against the New York Rangers. Again, I don't want to underestimate the Florida Panthers. I totally could see the Panthers going to the Cup final again. I would not be surprised by that. But Shesterkin, if I'm going Shesterkin, Bobrovsky, I'm probably going Shesterkin just in terms of the better goalie. But Bobrovsky definitely has more playoff experience. So Rangers, Oilers, that would be an ultimate Stanley Cup final. One of the bigger Canadian markets versus one of the bigger American markets. And again, I had in my original bracket the Rangers winning the Cup. I'm going to go back to Edmonton. I had Edmonton before the regular season. Win it for Ben. I think the Oilers have a really good shot to do this. Again, the asterisk or the wild card here, the game changer, whatever you want to call it, the X factor, Stuart Skinner. If Stuart Skinner plays like a top 5 goalie in the playoffs, if he could even just do 80% of what these other guys are doing between Bobrovsky, Shesterkin, Ottinger, go down the list, Swayman, I think Edmonton can win. They've got the forward depth. They've got 2 of the best players in the world. They've got their grinders. They've got their playoff-style guys. Evander Kane, Corey Perry, Nugent Hopkins is just starving for a cup, along with Connor and Leon. The defense is better. Maybe that becomes an issue against Colorado. But Dallas, I mean, I kind of, it's a toss-up. Like, if it's Dallas-Edmonton, Rangers-Edmonton, like Adam Fox, Heiskanen, obviously this more superior defenseman in terms of overall there. But I think, as I said, Stuart Skinner. I'll put it that way. So, to me right now, guys, in terms of my power rankings to win the Stanley Cup, I would probably go Edmonton 1, Rangers 2, and then toss it up after that. But I do think I look at every team left in the playoffs, and I could make a strong case. That's honestly not the case every year. I usually could point out 2 or 3 teams that I'm like, yeah, it's not happening. It's easy to talk about the Rangers as I'm recording. They're up 1-0, but I was going to pick them anyways. The Hurricanes, it really just comes down to if Freddie Anderson, whoever they have in net, can match up against Shesterkin. I mean, it's going to be as close like that as a series. And I do think that Jeremy Swayman's going to have to steal a series again for Boston to beat Florida, but that's possible, right? So I can't knock Boston out of that question because, again, I think depending on who wins that Carolina Rangers series, if Boston gets an absolute steal again from Swayman and they get to that conference final, I could see a scenario where they end up in the Cup final in that scenario. So there's so many different possibilities. Again, if Vancouver gets Demko back, maybe they match up against Edmonton. But I think, again, no shot against Canucks fans. You guys know I had you beating Nashville in the round 1, start of the bracket. A lot of people had Nashville upsetting Vancouver. I thought that was foolish. I picked Vancouver to beat Nashville on my original bracket. But I am confident Edmonton wins that series with Vancouver's current situation. No Demko. Who knows? I'm picking Edmonton, especially if they get an early start to that series. If they can win Game 1 in Vancouver, I think that's going to make a huge difference for the series. So give me your thoughts, guys, on my picks here. Edmonton for the Cup, sorry. And I think it's going to be very close in a lot of these series. Like, honestly, a lot of these are toss-ups for me. I think for a lot of people, Florida might be the obvious favorite to win their series and go far. But I think, again, Swayman. So thank you to all the new subscribers lately, guys. It's been a lot of fun to get back into the streaming and obviously on top of the videos that I've been doing consistently. But please drop a like. If you're welcome to be a new subscriber, reach out to me on social media. And as I said, always comment down below your predictions. We'll talk soon. More streams coming up. Peace.